Hello, friend. Welcome. Your agenda matters. Whatever your initial intention is, and if it's based on your heart, and you're walking the path of your heart, is walking the path of least resistance. And so that's the topic for today. And so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Those of you who are new, my name is Muriel, and I usually go by that name, Muriel Shickman. But I published a book with my crew, Amu, and it's my higher self, and it's the frequency that name Amu is the frequency of my soul voice. And I work with the high frequencies, and then I translate the vibrations to deliver the messages to you. So I just published this book, and it's available on Amazon as ebook, paperback, and hardcover. Okay, and I've been doing these videos and adding to a series called Walking the Path of Least Resistance, so that it gives a supplement for you as you're reading the book, you're going along, and it helps a little bit. It's kind of like an added coaching. Okay, so to get right into this, when you are in your heart space and you're in your heart center, and you go at an action, it's guaranteed to work out. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. It's like the law of attraction. It's a law. It's guaranteed. Now, with that being said, so you're going along and you're manifesting whatever it is. It could be money, relationships, health, whatever it is for yourself that you're wanting, but you're not seeing it yet. And you're going along and you've been doing this thing. This is the art of allowing. You know it, it's just the way it works, that it will work out. There may have been a lot of momentum that you built up from the past. It could have been going on for months or even years. So you take time out. We don't create when we're not feeling well. We're emotional beings, and our manifestations come from, our point of attraction is how we're feeling. So you don't just walk into the store and buy a lottery ticket and go, I'm going to win. This is law of attraction. I'm going to win. What you're doing is you're feeling good most of the time. You already have that sensation of already having it. We have a reaction going, oh my God, I won. And so we hadn't moved ourselves into that state of being in that receptive mode. We're already there. It's the law of attraction. It matches it because that's just how it works. It's bound to happen. But how do you stay in this mode of being okay most of the time? And this is where we're working with the thoughts, how they charge, and their vibrations. And they charge more of the same vibration to it. And before you know it, you're down a long stream, a long road of more thoughts to match that. And it charges emotions. And then all of a sudden, you're stuck with an electric, magnetic mode of I'm not being okay. And you draw that to you. And then you go into a store and buy a lottery ticket and you notice you don't win. Well, you're not in the flow. There's a flow. There's called the path of least resistance, and you are it. And so when you move out of being controlled by the mind and the endless thoughts all the time, then we can hear the wisdom that's coming through. It might be that take this step to that step to that step. Or you walk into the store one day and you weren't, going to get a lottery ticket, and you walked in, you looked down, you saw it, and they go, that one. It's an inspired action that can happen on the moment. And this is the moment-to-moment consciously creating our reality, is that we're moving off the mode of what our higher self has in store for us. Free will is what the human had for so long. It's you could do what you want until you get it. You can't, you get away with it until you can't. Divine will is moving off of the will of what your higher self has in store for you. So you trust that there's a law of attraction, and whatever you're doing within yourself, you get. It may take a little time and some recalibration, depending how long, again, you've been at that momentum and building up of the I'm not okay. So we give time, that recalibration time. And you can do this while you're still living your life, because now this is a new tool. It's like a new opportunity that's available that you didn't have before. And now you have it while you're still working your job, or while you're still in that relationship that you're trying to, go at and resolve or get even love in your life first for yourself, maybe a relationship with yourself. You haven't had that opportunity to love yourself so much. And so these tools and working this alchemy provides you that opportunity to recalibrate and match that in which the law of attraction is always serving you. The universe is always serving you. Everything is always working out for you. It's always working out for me. Always. You can even say that on a day-to-day basis. That's why we speak of gratitude. You know, I'm grateful for my water. I'm grateful for my food. I'm grateful for this roof I have over my head. I'm grateful for this technology to deliver the messages to you. I'm grateful for this, grateful for that. You go on it. You feel it. You don't just say the words. You're feeling it now. You're feeling it. Oh, it clicks. I get this now. Okay, now maybe it took you weeks or months to get to the point where you're starting to feel the gratitude. It takes a little bit. It depends on where you're at with yourself. But this is guaranteed. When you work with the law of attraction and you abide to your own inner flow, it is magical. All of a sudden, things just start showing up in your sphere, one thing after another. You get the message, you get the phone call, that person's there at the right time, you happen to be right there at the right time, whatever that is, and this is being in the flow. So when you're working with intention and you know if it's true at the get-go, then you can't blame yourself or anyone really in that matter outside of yourself for what happened, you know? Because when you jot back and a little bit in your memory of why you went out a certain action, was it based off of fear? Did you have worry, doubt, insecurities? Was it based off of power and control? So you can't blame anybody else if you were tangling with them, or maybe something happened yourself. You go back to your agenda, and you're working with the path of the heart is working with the path of least resistance, because you're not having resistant thought and developing more and more resistant thoughts that are creating that emotion that does not feel good, and it puts you into a mode of having to resolve or act on it. This way is staying back a little bit, trusting the flow of the universe, because the law of attraction is going to deliver, getting out of the way, distracting yourself, moving yourself. Gratitude is a form of distraction because it gets you out of the thinking all the time mode, and again, bringing you down more and more resistant thoughts, charging more of those emotions that you don't like, bringing you more into a delusional way of thinking, either about yourself or another person or the world at large. And every single one of us has this. We have a brain that has a lot of thoughts, and it charges a lot of electricity, and it can create a lot of havoc and creates those emotions in the body that does not feel good. And our emotions matter. We were told in the world, I know as a girl growing up, I got awarded if I was strong enough, or if I didn't cry, if I hurt myself. Oh, you're such a good girl, you're so strong. They tell you to do these things when we came into the world, and we're added belief after belief after belief. And we weren't told that our emotions matter. Better yet, that's our attraction point to our well-being life, of having enough money, having more than enough, abundant life, well relationships with ourselves first, then others. If we were taught, every single child, this world would be completely endless abundance manifested already. But see, this is what we're doing here. And there's many people that are also doing and offering these messages, is that, it takes a lot of reminding day to day. As soon as we wake up, before we get out of bed, today's a good day. Today's a new day of a point of attraction. Today, things are showing up already, which I've been doing this whole time along, that's matching what I've been doing and consciously aware of. More and more starting to show up. Maybe you'll have days where you don't really see it too much, but it's there. The more you say this to yourself, it is a type of really brainwashing the brain, because the brain keeps brainwashing you to think otherwise. So you're getting ahead of it. We're getting ahead of it. By getting ahead of it, you're then paying attention to how you feel. Okay. I want to say it too, when you go at this, you may start feeling more emotions. You may be more sensitive because you're starting to pay attention. You're starting to be consciously aware and how it feels in the body. If you're around a particular person, it doesn't feel right. If you're in a circumstance or around people, whatever it is, or you're listening to something, or whatever it is of the senses, and it doesn't feel right. It's that, or it feels really good. Then you go towards it. You see? So that's just how it works. When we're retraining ourselves to navigate in this life through our point of attraction of our emotions, it's a different way of walking. And it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit when you get on this path. And you're not going to be a superstar. Perhaps then all of a sudden you find, wow, that's all I needed. And you just zoom. Okay? And then some of us have built up a lot of momentum of the I'm not okay, a lot of negative thinking. And then we take time out. And then what we call recalibration. You don't do anything. You don't create when you're not feeling well. You want to create this abundant life of, money and relationships off of not feeling well. I'm not going to go at trying to get money because I want to be a sloth and sit around for the rest of my life and not do anything. I'm not going to, that again, has everything to do with agenda. If you look at your initial agenda, what is it? Perhaps you lived a whole full life and you've already done your creations and tons of manifestations. The universe, as soon as you do that, it's banking up so much more. It's exponential what's happening. You've worked a whole life of things and then you look and going, there's nothing that's come out of it. No. What we're saying here is that the universe, you've built up a whole treasure chest of abundance, just available and ready for you to tap into it because you've been doing it. And so that lottery ticket you win, hey, that's it. You're just comfortable for the rest of your life because you're not going to sit there and go, oh, I got that money because I didn't want to do anything. So that's not how it works, because if you look at your agenda, you can't get this wrong. If you look at your initial agenda and what it is and why you want to manifest what you do, and if it's true to your heart, it works out. You just keep allowing. You'll have your days. You'll have your good days. You'll have your bad days. Wording. You'll have your days. You'll come up, go down. Maybe you'll have many of them. Maybe you'll feel like you're going way backwards and way forwards. Oh, when you really step into this, you start getting into that mode. You start seeing the flow. You go, oh, I get what this day is. I'm not going to do too much. Like yesterday. Yesterday was one of those days where I knew I wasn't going to leave the house too much. I could hear the noise of the world kind of not really feeling up to par. So I had the opportunity. I took it. I moved accordingly to that and the energetics that were available. My agenda of making these videos is solely to give a supplement and of my heart. And I'm also receiving too. I'm not just give. And I want to make a big point here, because this is big for some of you, is that I don't go at making these videos every day like a coach does, or whatever they're doing for the world, and they're publicly speaking and delivering their messages, because we have the technology to do this. I mean, you could fill up the whole YouTube channel on a moment-to-moment basis even. No, there's a time for action, and then there's a time for non-action. And when do you know when that happens? When you feel it. And because I work on a mode of my emotions over my navigation, there'll be some days where no video. I censor to it, not today. And then today. And so that's how it works. It doesn't mean that I'm in a mood or something happened. Maybe I do have to have an appointment or something like that, right? No, it's because there's a flow on giving and receiving, how much that really needs to happen. And again, a lot of the coaches out there do that. They just want to keep their business. Their initial attention and agenda is to grow their business, and they perceive by speaking and giving and doing all these videos and getting attention and doing all that, then they'll get. So this is actually a perfect example, because you can't get it wrong. You just can't get it wrong. And it has nothing to do with popularity, how many followers you have, how many it shows right there, how many people are listening to you, how much feedback you're getting. It doesn't have to do with any of that. No, it's true to yourself and what you're doing for this. Are you doing it because you want to show the world that you can speak? Are you doing it to get attention? Are you doing it solely because you really care and you have a message to give and it works for you, so it's got to work for the other person? And so we share, and then this is receive and give and receive. There's a balance of that. It's just one little example, is that we're not always going in the action mode of the masculine energy and go, do, and act. You don't have to do that. You can sit back and be with your breath and be with the present moment, and then an inspired action will come out of that. And you'll know. Maybe you'll have days where you feel like a sloth. Again, you feel lazy. It's meant to happen. The energies are there to serve you. Whatever's happening at any given moment, it's there to serve you. So say it hasn't happened yet. You just want that relationship, it hasn't happened yet. You want that money, you want the job, it hasn't happened yet. You work on this, you trust that there's things happening in the background, it's going to match up. There's a whole bunch of yous and me's and all this network of them moving around. As soon as someone makes a movement, it's changing and juxtapositioning all of us. We're all doing this movement right now in this present moment, and things align accordingly. It's not always based on free will, that you feel like that by listening to your thoughts, that's going to move you to where you need to be. No, it's based on divine will, and while you get quiet enough, you'll hear that inspired action, and then you'll make the move. It's a different way of moving. It takes a little bit of practice. It takes a little bit of steadfastness just to stay with it. And there's times when you don't going to do anything, and then you do. You'll feel it. You'll feel the movement. You start moving with the flow of the universe. That's why astrology and any of those arts of reading the stars and everything has been so popular. It's because we're in a universe of movements and juxtapositionings, and things just change, and they're always kind of changing, and there's different degrees to things, and then the energies move and create an umbrella around us, over us, should I say, that is going to have an influence on our actions. It's just the way the universe works. You don't have to be subjected to astrology. You don't have to have any beliefs. You don't be subjected to anything. No, this is working outside all that is, because you have your own navigation of your own I am presence that's moving you along. You can too be into astrology. It's your choice. It's wearing many hats and not being fixed into one mode of being. There's nothing wrong with astrology, and there's nothing right. It's just a way of wording as a science that tells us, hey, these influences that are at play right now. It's just the way it is. Like a Mercury retrograde, people go into fear like, oh my God, a Mercury retrograde. And you have to stop everything, and then you have to, be careful of, watch your things and meander around on eggshells a little bit and just take it easy, watch your moods, get some sleep. There's just certain happenings that we're subjected to as physical beings, but you don't have to be. It's happening, but just by knowing it, you have a conscious awareness, and then you act accordingly. That's how it happens. And so if we look at our agenda, again, to conclude this, you'll see, as always, it's guaranteed, when you're working with the path of the heart, and you check in with yourself on what your true intention and agenda is, you can't get it wrong. And the universe delivers anyway. That's why we get things that we don't want, because whatever we're doing within ourselves is going to deliver. It's not like you have to be paranoid and take a magnifying glass to everything about yourself and, oh my gosh, where's those stuck beliefs? Where are the other hidden beliefs that are 20,000 feet below the other beliefs? This is not what we're saying. You don't have to go back to your past and heal all these wounds and find out all this stuff. No, you're working in the present moment, and you're working with the circumstances that are at hand, and guaranteed you have things in your life already manifested that wasn't there before, right? And so what we do is become grateful for them, and it's sending a signal off, a vibratory signal that's going to come back around and serve us, and you start seeing more and more of that come into your life. So you can't get it wrong. You get down yourself, oh, I didn't win the lottery ticket. Oh, I messed up on that relationship. Or, I really, I'll get it wrong. And then all of a sudden we go right back to being critical of the self, coming out of that mode of self-love. We get down on ourselves. Again, we step and shrink down a little bit accordingly to the feedback of the world. This is going forward and really going at it regardless, even what your human has to say about it. And it's a widening, it's an expansion, it's a vast experience that happens when you start trusting and allowing the energies at play, okay? Be boredom is boredom. Joy is joy. Happiness, sadness. You just go at them. But you don't stay too long in a lower vibration because you don't need to. Our natural state of being is all is well. So when we go into that mode of not feeling well, that's because it's a signal telling us, our higher self is telling us, hey, that's not what I'm in agreement with. The higher frequencies is not in agreement with that, and you don't have to stay there. Yes, there's something there. Check it out. Stay very little time. Don't stay long. There's a certain amount of seconds, maybe like 20 seconds, less than that, 15 seconds, that you stay at a negative thought, and it builds up more momentum because it's a frequency, it's a vibration and frequency, and it's drawing it to it, drawing more to match it, and then all of a sudden you're in this mode. And this is the whole practice of alchemy. Okay, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, send them down in the comment section down there. Send me a private message, which people generally do more often than none, you know, because it's not such a private space in YouTube, but it also helps those who come on here and, you know, see your comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you have, thank you so much for supporting this. And we will be back soon to give another message on walking the path of least resistance. Okay? So today's a good day, and continue on with your goodness and your shininess. And may the shadows of doubt or insecurity or anything that you're kind of muddling with right now, may they kind of subside over there and give you a reprieve and a break so that you can have a little bit of sun come through the break of the clouds today, and be gentle with yourself. Okay? Well, thank you so much for being here. Until next time, namaste.